Hello there. Welcome back to Zimsec O-Level Accounts. In this video, we want to look at the question paper of November 2023. This is a question paper of November 2023, and we're going to look at paper two. And then on paper two, we're going to look specifically on the preparation of the bank reconciliation statement and the updated cash book. So this is what we have. So we can go and check in terms of the question that we have here according to this video. So we are going to go through the question first, and then we answer what is supposed to be responded to. Right. On 3A, that's where we got the initial information. It reads the following is the cash book and the bank statement of N Hlangana for the month of November 2021. Then we're given a cash book, that is the bank columns only. We're given the debit side and the credit side. Remember, this is our debit and this is our credit. So these are the transactions that are entered here in the cash book. So if you go down, you'd see that we also have a bank statement that is there. Then we are also given a column for debit and credit and the balance column. And so it means the final balance that we are given there, according to the balance column, is 20,500, being a debit balance. So this is what we have. So according to this video, we are only going to look at a section of this question that is on the preparation of the of an updated cash book on 30th November 2021, which is 5 marks. And then we also have to prepare to draw up a bank reconciliation statement on 30th November 2021. So this is what we have. So the balance that we are going to start with on the updated cash book, we are going to start with the balance that we are given here in the cash book. Remember, the closing balance that is there on the cash book is given as 15,000. That is our balance sheet on the debit side. So which means our balance BT obviously is here on the credit side below the double line. So that's where we have got our balance BT, which is our 15,000. So we are going to start with this balance in our updated cash book on the credit side, balance BT. And we know that if it's a BT on the credit in the cash book, it means it's a bank overdraft, and it's simply as simple as that. So I will just go there and just end up as it is as our balance BT on the credit side. So we are going to say balance BT. And then the amount that we are given there is 15,000. So we have 15,000 in. Then we go back there to check on the other transactions that we have. If you go back there, remember what we have on the debit side of the cash book is the same as what we are supposed to see on the credit side of the bank statement. So on this side of the bank statement, which is the credit side, should be similar to the debit side. And then the debit side of the bank statement should be similar to the credit side of the cash book. This is as simple as that. And we know that if the closing balances are different, I remember since we are entering the same information in the cash book and the bank statement, which means the closing balance in the cash book should be the same with the closing balance in the bank statement. So whenever there's a differential in terms of their closing balances, that's when there's need now to prepare a bank reconciliation statement whereby we are reconciling the two balances so that they become the same. So this is what we have. So we are going to start by checking what is on the what is on the debit side of the cash book, being similar to what we have on the credit side of the bank statement. So we are checking, first of all, you check the figure that we have on the credit side of the bank statement. Like here we've got 11,000. Then we go to the debit side of the cash book to check if 11,000 is appearing. So we have got 11,000 that is appearing there. So it means that 11,000 is two appearing both sides. So if you come here, we've got 14,000. So we go back again to the debit side of the cash book to check, and you see that we've got 14,000 that we have here. As simple as that. Then you come back to the bank statement to check the next figure. Here we've got 14,000 that we've identified, so we can tick it. And then we've got 13,500 as the next figure. Then we go there to check again on the debit side to see if you've got 13,500. To see there's nothing there, which means 13,500 needs to be updated in the cash book. So we go to the cash book and try to see what description do we have to 13,500. We see that it's a credit transfer to ABC Limited. So we are just going to put as such. Remember, we are going to put it on the debit side of the cash book as credit transfer. So we are here. So we go to the credit to the debit side of the cash book, and we are saying we have got a credit transfer. And the amount that we have is 13,500. So this is what we have. Then we go to check again if you've got any other entries that we have, I will see that this is the last item that we have for 13,500. It means now what we are going to the debit side of the bank statement and compare it with the credit side of the cash book. So we start with the first figure that we have, 18,500. We go to the credit side of the cash book to check if we've got 18,500. You see it's here, so we can as well tick it. We get that we've identified it. So we go back again to tick it here to check that, to say that we've identified this figure. Then I will go 12,000 next, and then we go to the cash book to check if we've got 12,000 on the credit side. You see we are having it again. We tick it, and then we go back here to tick it again to indicate that we've identified it. Next item is 16,500. We go there to check if it's there on the credit side. We are seeing that it's appearing, so we tick it, and we go back here. And we tick it again here to indicate that we've identified it. So the next one is 3,000. We go back again to check. Right, you see now 3,000 is not appearing on the credit side of the cash book, which means it needs to be updated in the cash book. So we can now check the description of 3,000, which is top order in the form of insurance. So we can go there and put it on the credit side as insurance as our stop order. We can just give a description of stop order. And then the amount that we're having is 3,000. Then we go and check if we have got any other that is appearing on the debit side. Remember, we also have another one that is appearing there, which is 500. So we go to the credit side again, to the credit side of the cash book. We check if we have got 500. We see there's nothing. It means 500 also needs to be updated. And we check the description of 500, which is bank charges. So we are going to the credit side and end up our 500 in the form where we are now updating it. So we are saying bank charges. So we are here. We are saying bank charges. Remember, it's 500. So we have 500 here. So this is what we have. So we've exhausted everything. So we can now balance our updated cash book. So we can put our double lines. Right. So remember, we now want to balance this account. So we compare the total of the debit and the credit. And if you compare the total of the debit and the credit, you would see that on the debit side we have 13,500, only one figure, which means this is the total of the debit. Then the credit, if you add 15,000 plus 10,000 plus 500, you are going to get. Let's try to see. Let's try to add that one. 15,000 plus 3,000, you are going to get 18,500. So it means the credit side is greater. So we are going to put 18,500 both sides in between the double lines, 18,500. Then we are now going to say 18,500 minus 13,500 to get our balance here. If you do that, you are going to get 5,000. So this is our balance CD, which is also going to appear there as our balance BD on the debit side, below the double lines. Is our 5,000. So this is what we have in terms of the updated cash book. Then we go now to the bank reconciliation. Remember, on the bank reconciliation, it depends with which balance are we going to start with. So in this case, let's start with the balance as the cash book. So the balance as the cash book, we start with the one that we've updated here. So we are going to check this figure here and start with it in the bank reconciliation. Remember, in the bank reconciliation, we can start with the balance as the cash book or balance as the bank statement. So in this case, we are starting with our balance as the cash book. So here we are saying balance as the cash book. So the balance as the cash book that we are having there is 5,000. And remember, this 5,000 is on the credit side. So remember, we said if we have got a balance on the credit side of the cash book, it indicates an overdraft. And an overdraft is a negative balance. So we have to indicate it here as a negative figure. So to indicate it as a negative figure, remember, we are supposed to put it in brackets to show that it's a negative figure. So we are saying 5,000 in brackets. So this is what we have. Then next, we are supposed to add. We are supposed to add and subtract so that we complete the bank reconciliation. So if you start with balances with cash book, we are supposed to add unpresented. Unpresented checks. So it means if here we start with balances with bank statement, you are supposed to add an uncredited check. But in this case, we are starting with the balance in the cash book. So we are adding unpresented check, then we are going to less uncredited. So on unpresented, remember, if you come here on our cash book, we can come here, you'll see that unpresented, we are going to see them on the credit side. That's where we are going to have unpresented. And then uncredited will be on the debit side. So this is what we have. So on the unpresented is the one that we are looking for. We are looking for entries that are there in the cash book but are not appearing on the bank statement. Then they become unpresented. So here we are saying the first item that we have besides BT, we don't include BT. You just check from check number 3005, which is 18,500. We go to the debit side to check if it's there. You see it's appearing. We are not going to include that one. 12,000, we check again, we see that it's appearing, we leave it. 16,500, we see that it's appearing. And then we have got 17,500, and we see that we don't have it on the debit side. So this is the one that is presented. So you are going to add it as 17,500. So we are going to say 17,500. And then if you add the two, let's try to see. Let's try to add and see what we get there, which are saying negative 5,000 plus 17,500. We're going to get 12,500 as a positive. So here we've got 12,500. Then after that, now that's where when we are going to say less uncredited checks. Right. Uncredited check, now we go again to look for uncredited check. Remember, we are saying uncredited, we are going to find them on the debit side. So we are checking entries that are on the debit side of the cash book that are not appearing on the bank statement on the credit side. So we've got 11,000, which is we are seeing that is here. 40,000, we are seeing it's here. Then 33,000, we see that we don't have 33,000 on the credit side. So we're going to include that one. So 33,000 is the last one, so we're going to include it as an uncleared. So you come here, the description is uncleared uncredited check, 33,000. So here we come here, we are saying 33,000. Remember, we are saying less, so we are subtracting. So as such, we can subtract them. And if you subtract, you are going to find that you are going to find a negative 20,500, which is a negative. A negative meaning it's a credit balance in the cash book. So this balance that you find here, to see that you've calculated correctly, the 20,500 should be the same as the closing balance of the bank statement in the question. So if you come here, you'd see that we've got 20,500 as a debit again, which represents that it's a negative figure. This is a bank overdraft. If it's a positive, it should appear as a credit balance. So debit in a bank statement means negative, and then credit means positive. So this is what we have, guys, in terms of this video. Those who haven't subscribe and share. We are still coming with more videos as we prepare for exams. As for this video, I'm signing out, and we'll meet again in the next video.